yard sign. If you want flyers, there's a little sign-up sheet in the back, and we'll have about 50 yard signs, I think, tomorrow. We just need to get them out in the neighborhood so that people know this is a really important measure. And to me, it's not taxing, it's investment. It's basically improving the quality of life of where we live. We have a little segment here on Bastyr. Some people from Kenmore may be particularly interested in this. We don't have a whole lot of information, but we thought we'd take this point in time to set the table and tell you where things are going. As many of you may have heard, Bastyr University, just down the road, is a 51-acre campus. The school has financial challenges. It is looking for ways to bring money in to solve those challenges. And it announced earlier this year that it is considering selling all or a portion of the campus or dedicating a portion of the campus to multifamily housing. And they have a master plan that was approved in 2009 by the city of Kenmore. They're trying to amend that and also amend the zoning so that this multifamily housing idea would be accommodated. That is before the Planning Commission in Kenmore right now. The Planning Commission has, through its staff, the planning department has sent a long list of questions to Bastyr about impact on trees, impact on woodlands, impact on traffic. And Bastyr has to answer those questions. Right now, the deadline is August 15th. Once that information goes back to the city of Kenmore, I imagine that the Planning Commission will digest that, hold public hearings, and then ultimately it goes to the city council. Let me show you on the next slide. Oh, by the way, before we leave this, there is where you would provide feedback to the university, feedback@bastyr.edu, okay? You can also write to the city of Kenmore, go to the Planning Commission page, and you'll see that there's a whole page on Bastyr on that site. This is what the architects have sketched out. So let's go to the next slide. And to orient you, we're over here. That's the drive into Bastyr. Those are the existing Bastyr buildings, the chapel, the educational buildings. All of this today is ball fields. That is student housing. And this particular proposal would take this 51 acres. It would leave that portion of wetlands untouched. But there would be housing units dropped in all through here with a new access road, the parking lot that exists today next to the educational facility, that would be replaced. And the potential would be for 1,000 units. We don't know where that's going to go. The one thing we learned this week was that the leadership of Bastyr just changed. So the president of the university, who's been there through the pandemic and navigating through all of those challenges, just left. There's a new interim president who was years ago one of the founders of this university. And we are encouraged, just from a brief conversation we had with him, that he is looking for ways to maintain this as a vibrant campus and also find ways to solve the school's financial problems in a fashion that's consistent with its naturopathic mission. I don't want to make promises. I think that's where we're at, and I can see there's a question in the back, but before we take questions, I just want to turn to Ken Davidson, who is a Finn Hill resident. He went to the Planning Commission meeting, He was also involved in the master plan for St. Edward years ago. How did I do? You know more about this than I do. Do you have anything you want to correct or amplify?
Well, I went to the first planning commission sort of introductory meeting. They've got this on a fast track. This could be in front of the planning commission in September, October. It could be in front of the city council November, December. There'd be public hearings by the planning commission. There'd be public hearings by the city council. These are enormous apartment buildings, 85 feet, 7 or 8 stories. They are asking to change their master plan to add multifamily housing that's incidental to the predominant use on the property. Of course, or incidental to, like 1,000 apartment units would make it the dominant use, rather than the 2,100 student university. That property is currently zoned for public facilities, which allows educational institutions, it allows government offices and public functions like parks and recreational activities. Hopefully, this new leadership of Bastyr recognizes that this was a very bad idea that the previous president hatched along with his brokers. But if he doesn't realize that, then it's going to be important for citizens, particularly citizens of Kenmore, to be heard by the planning commission and the city council.
And again, I think if you are interested in this topic, whether you live in Finn Hill or you live in Kenmore, sign up in the back, tell us that you're interested in Bastyr or anything else, and we will do our best to keep you posted. We have a neighborhood association in Finn Hill, in Kirk, not Kenmore. We are looking to find people in Kenmore and similar organizations in Kenmore that we can work with. We are talking to King County, Councilmember Rod Dombowski, and state parks, trying to pull together some coherent alliance that can formulate a financial package that takes care of Bastyr's problems. But at the same point, as Ken said, you know, the voices of citizens and voters matter, and Kenmore needs to, I think, hear, you know, your suggestions and your concerns. Okay, so that's, I think, all we have to offer at this point. Questions? And there's one in the back. You were the first, so fire away, sir.
So just to let you know, I can tell you that the student population, I was a recent graduate, I just graduated a couple months ago. The student population is very actively interested in preserving this space. So you guys have analyzed within the school and the voices that actually matter within the school, or the students' voices, were the ones that are paying attention. Right? And maybe I hope that they're the ones that pay attention, right? So we'll do our best. I'm gonna do my best because there's a connection between the students and the right. The other thing that we're looking at so possibly at some
I'm taking them in order in which I see the hands go up.
So, two quick questions. Do you know if Bastyr or somebody else has a map such as you have up there, what the proposed plan would be like, so they're thinking of ball fields or removing buildings where the 7-story, 8-story buildings are being proposed? And second question is, how much, does anybody know how much Bastyr hopes to realize from this sale or development?
I will say one thing, and then I know you've got comments, and is it Nicole? Okay, yeah. So this was, part of a letter that Bastyr submitted to the city. And we've seen other maps, there's also a property listing online that has a similar map, not as detailed as this. Does that begin to answer?
Well, but things are gonna be, that's not what is proposed, or is that what's proposed? Is that Bastyr's proposal for the development?
I would say that is probably the extreme.
Oh.
There are three options that are on the property listing, there are three options. But this would be the third option. And it's the one with 1,000 units. It is the one
Right,
that has
I
also been
misunderstood.
submitted to the city.